Williams from Digital Conversation. Digital Conversation. Once you say it once, you can't stop saying it like that. How you doing today?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Sorry, we just spent about 2 minutes trying to find the right spot because the sun is out in Brisbane today, isn't it?
It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, and that's how we love it.
That's true. Okay, so we're here talking about Digital Conversations. You are the COO, which is the Chief Officer of Everything?
I'm the chief of everything. So I'm CEO. COE I am. Gee, I don't even remember.
There's so many.
I've got so many titles. I wear so many hats. Yeah, chief of everything. I like to be a little bit different. I just didn't want to be a normal COE. So it's all about, and how you position yourself.
Definitely. Okay, and tell us a little bit about Digital Conversations. What do you do at Digital Conversations?
So I work with businesses, a lot of recruitment companies and professional services in particular, to help them become more visible on their digital channels. So that usually involves creating a bit of a strategy or a plan as to how they're going to get from where they are now to where they want to be. And then I work with them like an outsourced digital manager to actually execute and set things up in place so they've got all the right tactics happening at the right time to reach the right clients.
Gotcha. Okay, so content, or is it all avenues of...
It includes lots of different areas. So it looks at everything they're doing from a digital perspective. So what's happening on their website, what's happening on their social media channel, content, video pieces, email marketing, all of that sort of stuff. It's all about looking at the pieces of the puzzle and what's going to be best for them and having a plan to bring it all together so it all makes sense.
Oh God, you're in control of all of that.
Yeah. That
sounds like a nightmare.
I'm a control freak.
Oh, there's being in control and then there's just being overwhelmed. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's typically what, when we look at marketing from a lot of businesses' point of view, there are lots of pieces of the pie that you need to sort of pull together. And that's my role as a digital manager, is to look at all those bits and go, what's going to be relevant for us? What do we need to get rid of? And let's just focus on the key areas and really starting where your audience is, not where you want to be. So then we can put the right sort of tactics in place to generate leads and win more business, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Okay, so you get vitalized when you see all of those different things, the different strategies they've got to do, different marketing tools or content pieces, projects.
In some sort of order.
Well, I would panic, so I would hire you when I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. What do I do? I'm freaking out, and you'd be like, don't worry, this is what I'm into.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it is, because I come in from a fresh perspective. So what often happens is when we're in our own businesses, we're so caught up in the day-to-day running of everything that we often get overwhelmed, we don't see things. Where I come in from a totally fresh perspective, and I literally did this yesterday with a client where I was looking at some stuff and I went, oh, it's telling me this and this doesn't really make sense. And he was like, oh, yeah, that can be a bit confusing. I said, well, here's part of the problem. So it's about being able to look at it from a client point of view a lot of the time, as well as put the business hat on and go, well, from a business it should look like this, and as a client it should look like this. And what does that path to purchase look like to drive the right sort of clients through to people? And that can be sometimes quite simple, and sometimes it gets a bit more complicated depending on who their audience is and what they're trying to do. So I always try and keep simple as possible. That's just, I think, a much better approach. No one wants to overcomplicate it.
I love that you found a purpose for people with multiple personality disorder. That's perfect. Different hats, yeah. So you've got a lot of schizophrenics in your workplace?
Not usually, but...
I've got your idea now, don't you? Oh, I wonder, actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could probably do something with that, yeah.
So what made you want to get into this? When did you realise that you actually kind of enjoyed the mess and you enjoyed, I guess, the intuitive side of starting these projects and kind of trying to understand what people are, what they need, and how to get through to them and communicate?
Yeah. I think I've probably been doing this as some sort of a level for quite a number of years, but when I moved into... when I started the business 4 years ago, I saw a real gap there for what I call a tradigital approach, which is looking at what people are doing from a traditional marketing point of view, where digital fits and integrates into that, and how to tie the two together and leverage. And no one was really doing that. Most people are talking about one or the other, and often they're totally disconnected. So for me, I just saw a gap in the market for that. And I mean, I've loved the digital space. I've spent, 10, 12 years. I've lost track of how many years I've been in that space now. What I love about it is it does provide so many opportunities. Everything is measurable. You can do a lot of things with no money or just tiny budgets, which you often can't do from a traditional marketing point of view. So you can really sort of leverage the two and bring the two together, though. And it's about working smarter, not harder. And we all want to work smarter, not harder, don't we? So I saw an opportunity there, and that's what I love doing. I love that light bulb moment when you're talking to someone and you're sitting explaining and working with them, and then they go, oh, now I get it. I get how it all fits and how it all should work. So that to me is very personally satisfying.
Great move also with the bridging point too as well. They say the art of good business is being a good middleman, so you're being perfect at that. And what I love as well is the fact that you're actually not implementing these marketing ideas and people have to get used to them. You're actually working the marketing tools and the strategies around what people are used to, and sounds very patient.
Yeah, what they want. So everything starts with the client. It's not about the business. It's about what does your client want from you? What channels are they on? How do they want to interact with you? And then once you know that, then you can create and develop that marketing piece to suit. So it's going to fit much better. It's going to be more successful because the client's going, yeah, that's how I want to work with you and interact with you. So it's about just repositioning your thinking on how you do it.
I love it. Okay, well, can you tell any of the viewers where they can find you on your website so they can get in touch if they are freaking out with what to do next with their new business?
So excited, right? Well, they can find me at digitalconversations.com.au. They can connect with me on LinkedIn, of course, just under Tanya Williams, and they'll find me on all the usual channels. So digital _ Tanya on Instagram and Twitter, and of course Digital Conversations on Facebook. The best way to connect with me is on a digital channel, of course, because that's what I'm all about.
Well, in that respect as well, thank you very much, Tanya Williams, for being on the show, and thank you for this digital conversation.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.